Hey everybody, Mike Baxter here for Outdoor Men. I'm just kidding. Um, this is the first time I've ever tried one of these video logs, so bear with me, guys. You know I can sit here and write like nobody's business, but Rebecca kind of encouraged me to try out something different. For those of you who know me pretty well, I love to write. I love to express my feelings. Very open and honest about everything. If you've been reading my Facebook page for a long time, you know that through my writing. But in the next few months, I'm going to be trying some new stuff. I have my story that I wrote that took me about 2.5 years to finish. Still trying to decide what I want to do with that. Whether I want to go the traditional publishing route, or if I want to try to self-publish. So I'm still working on that. But to be honest, I've kind of put it on the back burner a little bit. It's just a lot of information to intake, and it's a little bit overwhelming at the moment. But something else I've been looking into is starting up a blog. And one of my best friends has been kind of pushing me that direction for a couple of years. And I'm not really been hesitant about it, but I just don't really know much about this. I'm not the most tech savvy guy out there. On that note, I do apologize if the video quality is really not that good. I hope I'm speaking loud enough that you guys can hear me. Using my old laptop. So this is, like I said, this is a test run. This is the first ever video vlog, whatever the heck you want to call it, that I've ever done. But I just want to try something new. Just had a lot on my mind the last couple of days. It's kind of been an emotional gamut. Everything from like good to bad, everything in between. Yesterday, I had a nice conversation with a bunch of old Army buddies. We had a little group video chat that was kind of nice. First time in a long time I saw a lot of them. Caught up with them, so that was really cool. Today we had a little work thing, and then after we had a meeting at work, I brought some supplies back to our home office, and somebody that I work with, we just sat and kind of had this 20-minute conversation out of the blue. That was kind of nice to just get some things off my chest and just talk about myself and my feelings and whatnot. For those of you who have been following my Facebook page for a while, you'll see that I'm very open and honest about everything. I don't hide anything. I'm probably the most deeply flawed human being you could find. I still have my struggles, even at my advanced age. I'll be 45 in January, FYI. But I don't really put that out there looking for pity or sympathy or woe is me. I kind of put it out there just to share with everybody what I'm going through. Maybe they've been in a similar situation. Maybe they've felt the same way I do sometimes, and I just try to connect with people. I try to look at it in a humorous way, make fun of it, not make fun of it, but you got to laugh at yourself sometimes. So that's part of the reason I write a lot of the things I write, because I'm not the best in-person communicator. I know you might not believe that by reading the stuff I write, but speaking in person with somebody is something I struggle with sometimes. Up here, it all makes sense. It's running 1,000 miles a minute, but it makes sense in my head. But when I try to say it, it doesn't always come out that way. It comes out very jumbled or backwards, or it doesn't make sense, and people start looking at me like I'm green with two heads or something from another planet. So I wanted to test this method out and just see how it goes. So here we go. All right, what is going on besides that? Like I said, I'm trying to figure out what to do with the story. I need to kind of shit or get off the pot, if I'm being frank about it. But like I said, the times I've looked at it in the last few months, it's just very overwhelming. It's a lot of information to take in. It's a lot of things to consider. As far as the blog, I'm hoping to get that started by the end of the year. And what the blog is going to be is basically the same as my Facebook, the same things that I'm talking about there. But if this video thing works out and I'm comfortable with it and you guys enjoy it, maybe I'll keep going. I don't know. I'm not the most photogenic person. Deal with it. It is what it is. So the last couple of days, I've just kind of, like I said, I've ran the gamut of emotions from good to bad. Nothing really wrong per se. I've just been kind of struggling a little bit. Know even how to describe it as best I can. Just, I kind of figured I'd run into this hiccup the first time I'm doing this, But bear with me. Again, this is a test run. We're gonna iron out some. What the heck am I talking about? We'll work out the kinks, the bugs, whatever the heck it is. So, all right. Hopefully, so far so good. I do want to say thank you to all the people who visit my Facebook, family, friends, people I've never met before but are online friends. I really do appreciate it, guys. It's nice to know that somebody takes time out of the day to read my stuff, and hopefully it's entertaining, hopefully it makes sense, or hopefully it might, help you relate to me. We relate to each other. Maybe you've been through a similar experience. You've had certain similar circumstances. So, I'm all about connecting. I think this world does enough to separate us and to divide us, and I don't remember it being that way when I was younger. Growing up I was born in '76, so growing up in the late '70s, throughout the '80s, early '90s, I always joke we fought about our sports teams. Like there wasn't the division that you have nowadays. I recently did a video with one of my buddies from the Army, one of the best friends I have in the world, where we talked about our experiences about September 11th. He's got a channel on YouTube. He helped found this veterans nonprofit organization called View Change. It's about empowering veterans. Being that I'm a veteran, it's important to me. I served about 2.5 years in the Army. I'm very proud of that. It really had a significant impact on my life. But it was also very difficult for me when I came home. I know that this video, just to FYI, is going to be all over the place, okay? There's going to be things that I'll talk about, and then I'll jump to a completely different subject, and I'll come back. Sometimes when I'm speaking from the heart, I have a tendency to do that. I'll just ping pong around. As I'm thinking it, it's coming out to the mouth, so just bear with me here. Also, if you see me doing something like this, the screensaver kicked in. Again, I'm not used to doing this. This is the first time. I don't have any fancy editing software, so it's just going to be kind of raw. Anyway, back to what I was saying. We were talking about our experiences from September 11th, 2001. Once they edit that video and post it, I'm going to put that on my Facebook page and on my YouTube page. If you guys are interested, love for you to watch it. But he kind of created this organization to reach out to veterans. Veterans, we're a different breed. We're not any better or worse than anybody. I don't think of myself that way, just in life in general. I don't think I'm any better or worse from having served, but I've just got a different perspective, different outlook on things. Him and I were both in the military on September 11th. We were both at Fort Bragg, North Carolina, and our experiences were a little bit different. But, we talked in this video about our experiences that day and how it impacted our life going forward. So, I've been thinking a lot about my time in the military lately. My time I really enjoyed, but I do have a lot of guilt also. I never deployed. I was injured. I wasn't able to go. They didn't want me to go. So that's kind of weighed on me a lot. Also, as far as my time in the military, I was 24 when I went in. I was a lot older. I was kind of called grandpa because most kids will go in 17, 18 years old. I had kind of been out in the world for a few years, however you want to say it. But I still hadn't quite found my footing. I still hadn't quite found what I wanted to do. I've always been the oddball that I know what I didn't want to do, which is really not worth a damn. I digress. So I got in the Army when I was 24, served a little, almost 2.5 years. Finally found where I belonged, a place I belonged, where I felt I was, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, I felt like that was what I was meant to do. That's what I was meant to be. And then I got hurt and got a medical chapter out, honorable discharge, pat on the back, don't let the door hit you on the way out. And I came home at 26 years old and felt very very lost, frankly. The thing about the military is it's not what you see in the movies. It's not all guns and blowing crap up and whatever. Uh, it's very structured. I mean, every single part of your life is structured. Lower enlisted guys like me, you don't really have to think a lot. You just kind of do. Your day's planned out, And when I was having a conversation yesterday with my army buddies, it kind of brought a lot of this back. So that's why I'm kind of incorporating it into this video. I'm also want to go back and talk about something my cousin had said. It's all going to make sense at the end, so bear with me here. Talking about our time in the military, like I got out when I was 26, and I kind of knew the day I got out that was the peak, and that was the best I was going to do, and everything else would be downhill. Unfortunately, to some extent, that's how it's been. I've spent the last 20 years kind of just drifting around from place to place, job to job, career to career. I've really struggled, and I'm bringing this up because it kind of our conversation last night with my army buddies kind of led to this. A lot of veterans, we feel very much like we don't have a purpose when we come home. Hold on a second, I'm checking something here. Okay, sorry. Like I said, I'm new to this thing. Something popped up on the screen. We feel very lost when we come home. We feel like we don't have a purpose, like we don't belong. There, I was doing something with my life. I had a purpose. I had a reason for being around. In the years since I've been home, I've really kind of struggled with that. So when I had the conversation with him, this little thing that I'm going to post eventually once they finish editing about September 11th and the reactions onward. When we had this conversation last night, this little group, excuse me, this group chat we had with my army buddies, it just kind of brought all of that back. And I think about what I've done with my life since the military, especially what I've done in the last few years. Now, years ago, I was very much, I'm going to use a football analogy, even though I don't like football. Um, I grabbed the ball, I put my head down, and I ran forward. I didn't think about what I wanted. I didn't think about what would make me happy. I thought about what do I have to do to survive. That was the whole goal and the purpose of every day was just survive, not living, just survive. So you could say I was kind of like a bird, an ostrich, whatever it is that with their head buried in the sand. And then somewhere around 2015 ish, I don't remember exactly, and we'll get back to that. Um, I won't get into. All right, let me stop there. I could really go into it, but this is the first ever time. I'm just testing this out, so don't want to give away the farm on day one. Something caused me to go over to my storage unit at the time, go through it, organize it. Um, those of you who know me, I'm very neat, clean, and organized. I'm like kind of OCD in that way. So everything in there was labeled. Okay, so I'm straightening out the storage one night, and I come across this box that's not labeled. No clue what it is. Don't know how it got there. Don't remember it being there. So I go through it, and it was a stack of letters from my grandfather. I grew up with my grandparents. They were as much my parents as my biological parents. Again, another long story for another time. But I was reading through the letters, and just from that point forward, I could no longer run with my head down. Ostrich, head out of the ground, I could never go back. So my life in the last couple of years has been very up and down, very. I've been struggling with a lot of things, physically, mentally, emotionally, you name it, the gamut, as I say. So a lot of that has been brought back up in the last few days as talking with my army buddies again and thinking about the video that we just recently did about September 11th. So there's all that emotion kind of brewing the last couple of days. Also, I had a conversation with my cousin from New York where we were talking about just catching up. we don't get to talk too much because he's really busy. You know, he's got a wife and 3 kids. Hi guys, by the way, love you guys, miss you guys. Um, you know, but when we do get to talk, I really enjoy it. So we were talking about kind of how I've been lately, what I've been going through. I'm down here in Houston at the moment to let you guys know. Again, I've bounced around so many times. This is like the 5th time I've been in Houston, but this is where I'm at as we're doing this video. We just kind of talked about what's been going on lately, and somehow or another the topic got to God, what did it get to? I don't even remember. Anyway, we were just talking about. I was a little frustrated at my lack of progress in certain things, and my cousin, as he always does, he is so much smarter than me. He has just got an insight you cannot believe. I mean, one of his favorite things he would say when we were kids or teenagers, I should say, is if it's not broke, don't break it. You know, kind of a spin on the traditional remark. But, I mean, head on. Anyway, so he was talking about how I beat myself up a lot. And I am my harshest critic. And, I just told him that, I was frustrated. I've been trying, 5 years since I pulled my head out of the ground, so to speak. I've been really trying hard to do the right thing. I made one significant step in that. Not going to talk about it yet because I'm just in the initial stages, but I did take a big step, and we'll get back to that, in the future, whether it's this video log or writing or a combination of both. I don't know yet. This again, test run for me, test run for you guys. Anyway, he made a really good point, and I've been dwelling on that for a couple of days now. That sometimes in life, even if we have the best of intentions, the situation doesn't always work out to where you can do what you want to do. In other words, I can't remember exactly how we worded it, but the basic gist of it was, even though my heart's in the right place and I want to do the right thing, and I'm trying really hard, and I'm trying to fix mistakes in my past, and I'm trying to move forward, sometimes you just can't. You're stuck in a situation where you just can't. I mean, it's just not realistic. I can't snap my fingers and erase 20 years of mistakes. I can't snap my fingers and become a millionaire. And make all my problems go away. FYI, peeps. When I got out of the army, I had a shit ton of money. Money does not buy you happiness. I know people think that. I know people feel that. I can tell you that money doesn't fill right here. It might make your life easier. It might pay your bills easier. You might sleep better at night, but money does not buy you happiness. Trust me, from personal experience. Okay, so we're having this conversation, and just like the light bulb went off when he said that. And I've been thinking a lot about that the last couple of days. He's right. I mean, I think if my situation was a little bit different, I think I've finally learned from the mistakes that I made in the past that I wouldn't keep making them again. I know if I had a little more resources, and again, I'm not going to go into super details here, but if I had maybe different resources, I would definitely fix a lot of things. I'm not saying I'm stuck, I'm trapped. Don't misunderstand what I'm saying. I'm only saying that there's only so much I can do with the tools I have available to me. So that's something I've been dwelling on. The stuff I was talking about with the army, since we just had the conversation last night, and we just did the video the other day. I take it back. It was right before September 11th, so a couple weeks ago. So I've had that, on my mind. After I had a conversation with the gentleman that I was talking about today, we just had this spontaneous conversation, like 20, 30 minutes out of nowhere. That kind of helped. I felt a lot better after that. So, I would normally have come home and written about it, but, like I said, Rebecca was kind of urging me to just try this, again. I'm not last man standing here, but, I wanted to try it, because if I do go ahead with the blog, like I said, it's going to be the same thing pretty much exactly as my Facebook page, but I do want to occasionally sprinkle in a video if that's possible. I don't know about blogging. One of my really really close friends for the Army. She's a blogger. I know she posts a lot of pictures, and she writes a lot of stuff. But I don't think she's ever posted a video. I don't think. I don't know if you can't or she just hasn't done it. Who knows? So we're gonna find out. But again, guys, thank you for bearing with me here as I try this new medium of reaching out to you guys. And I just figured maybe some of you who don't know me, who just kind of know me through Facebook, you might want to put a face and a voice to the words that you read. Again, I struggle tremendously with the verbal section. You would think if you read my writing, oh, he's very expressive, he's very eloquent, or he's whatever, that I wouldn't struggle in talking to people. But really, I do. I know it doesn't make sense. I know you might not believe it, but I do. I'm not shy, really. I'm kind of an over talker. You wind me up, let me go. I can go all freaking night. But it's easier for me to talk about insignificant things. Oh, hey, what do you want to eat? Hey, did you see this movie or this show? When it comes to talking about feelings or talking about emotions or things I struggle with, it's a lot easier for these to do the talking. So, writing is my passion. Writing is pretty much the only thing I'm good at in this world. I'm not being negative Nancy here. I'm just trying to be honest and truthful. Really don't have a lot of other skills here. I mean, there's things I learned in the military. There's things I learned growing up. There's things I learned, through jobs or whatever. But, I'm not a carpenter. I can't fix a table or a chair if it's busted. My cars are both old, held together by duct tape. I don't know the first thing about fixing them. I had a buddy in New Orleans, Al. I know you're not going to see this unless you watch it through somebody else, but appreciate all the help you always gave me on that front over the years. So writing is my it's my passion in life, but it's my easiest way of communicating. It's my easiest way of getting my feelings out there. It's my easiest way of expressing myself, explaining myself. And let's see how this video thing works out. I was kind of struggling right before I clicked on the video because I didn't know how to start it. I mean, when I'm sitting there writing, I can come up with I don't want to say snarky because that's not the right word. I can come up with an intro. I can come up with, factoids or, little, what is the word I'm looking for? I'm getting a brain fart here. But anyway, I can kind of make it interesting. I can make it funny. I mean, there's tender moments. There's really sad moments in my writing. There's really happy moments. I run the gamut. There's good. There's bad. There's everything in between. If I do the blog thing, I'm going to do it. It's just I have to make the time to do it. I will eventually do it. But my blog name, and I posted this a couple weeks ago. Thank you for everybody who commented. I'm going to call it, my life is a contradiction. And why I call it that is, let's go back here again. I'm bouncing around, like I said. When I found that box in storage, and I read through my grandfather's letters, there were some letters from my cousin in New York. There were some letters in there from old friends I hadn't, spoken to in many years. It kind of, not only did it make me pull my head out of the ground and open my eyes for the first time in, let's be honest, decades, as to what the situation was. And when I opened my eyes, it was like, oh my God, I saw the trail of destruction that I had left behind me. Once you do that, you can't ever go back. Like, it would make life easier, but you can't. You cannot even force yourself to go back. I lost my train of thought. Okay, so, hold on. Brain fart. Let me think. I can't go back on the video. So, where was I going? Oh, crap. All right. This is what happens. So, okay, I honestly lost my train of thought. Gosh darn it. Okay. All right. let's move on to something else. It'll come back to me. When I was thinking about doing this video, I didn't know what I wanted to talk about. I didn't know how I wanted to go. I didn't know if I would be clamming up. Once I started, it's not that bad. I don't know if you guys are enjoying this format, if you prefer my writing, whatever. Again, we're testing this out here. Okay. My blog. That's what I was talking about. See, I told you I remember. Okay. My blog, I would name My Life as a Contradiction. So, what does that mean? Once I found that box in storage with all those letters and I read them and I realized that I had been running with my head down all those years, I was almost on instinct, if that makes sense. I had stopped listening to my heart. Okay? Not that I was listening to my mind either. Okay? I really was not doing anything. Again, all instinct. But where the whole My Life as a Contradiction comes from, the title of the blog. Every single day of my life, ever since I found that box, which was, I lose track of time, and my memory is not the greatest anymore. Let's say 5 years ago. Let's just say, for argument's sake. Ever since I found that, not being able to go back with my head buried in the ground, every single day for me, I kind of struggle with something. The heart, dumbass, the heart and the mind are constantly in a civil war, an internal civil war. Now, you don't see the damage from that, but it's there. My heart will tell me, you finally realize the error of your ways. You're going to be 45, but there's still time to be happy. There's still time to fix things. There's still time to make positive changes. There's still time to find your destiny. There's still time to regain your passion in life. That's the heart, okay, which I hadn't listened to for like 2 years, 20 years. Then there's the mind that tells you, no, dumbass, you're going to be 45 in January. It's too late. You blew it. You screwed up. You made your mistakes. You made your bad lie in it. You're not going to be able to fix these things. You might as well just accept that this is the best it is and this is the best it's ever going to be. You got nobody to blame but yourself. You get the point. So imagine every single day of my life, the tug of war, the civil war going on inside me. It's tough, guys. It's tough to live your life like that, where you're so conflicted. You want to do this, but you want to do that. Hence the title of my blog. I don't even remember what the other one was, the human experience, and I think that would have been an adequate, based on what I was talking about and what I would be talking about, what I have talked about in my Facebook posts. I think that would have been a good title, but the contradiction thing, I think, is the best. Big shout out to my army buddy, dude. You had me almost pissing myself laughing with the 1,000 miles from no hair, possibility as a name. Kudos, dude. That was awesome. That stems from music's a big part of my life. I love music. I've loved music since I was a kid. No musical talent, but hey. Grew up in the late 70s, early 80s. One hit wonders were king. In the 90s, my teen years, there was some great stuff. Music since then has been And, as a kid, my dad would always play the stuff from the 50s and 60s. So I've got a wide range of musical talent. Music is very important in my life. I associate a lot of positive memories with music. People, friends, family, loved ones, experiences. I'll hear a certain song and it'll take me back. So music is huge in my life. But if there is one song that I think describes my life to a T, it's the Dwight Yoakam song "1,000 Miles from Nowhere." It's just, I love this. I love the lyrics. I love the music in the background, the beat, whatever. I love that song, and I think that that not exemplifies whatever the word, like that. That's my life. That's it. So when he came up with that suggestion, as he always does, Mr. Comedian, I loved it. I laughed my ass off. I I considered doing it, but I had to be true to myself. So life is a contradiction. So, um, what else? I don't want to make this video super long. I just again we're testing this whole vlog thing out to see if I like it. I'm interested to hear you guys' comments to see if you like it. Again, I'm not Mr. Photogenic. I'm very, I am kind of shy. It's easy for me to put it out there with these, but to look at my face, to hear my voice, that's kind of a new thing for me. This is only the second time I've ever done it. First time, you know, in this format, and then the video with my buddy talking about September 11th. So, while I have a moment, I just want to give a big shout out to all my family, my friends, my Facebook friends, guys. I love you guys. I mean, one thing I've always struggled with in my life is showing appreciation, or at least I feel. People have told me I don't, but that's just the way I think about it. I've struggled a lot with showing appreciation to people, how much I love them, how much it means to me. So, guys, from the heart, it really does. It's not easy for me to say thank you or how much. I've always struggled with telling people how important they are to me, how much they mean to my life, and I've missed a lot of opportunities, and I've learned the hard way that sometimes you don't appreciate people when they're in your life, and then they're gone, and you lose that opportunity. So, from the bottom of my heart, guys, my family, my friends, all my Facebook friends, I love you guys. Thank you for I've been on this since 2012. Thank you for supporting me, for believing in me, for having my back, for reading my posts, for laughing along with me, for crying along with me, for commenting. I really do appreciate it, guys. Genuine, from the heart. I really do. I'm going to take a drink of water because my throat's all scratchy. Hold on. Don't have any fancy editing software, so just bear with me. Okay, so I'm looking at the clock. We've been talking for a half an hour here. Cool. Hopefully not too long, but so I'm in my man cave. As you can see behind me, I've got a relic from the 1990s, a Mortal Kombat arcade thing that I got. I think I got this year for my birthday. Rebecca and I kind of went half in on that. Street Fighter one over there. My other one of my many hobbies, video games. So I got that there. I'm actually on her laptop, but the home computer doesn't have a webcam thing. So just telling you where I'm at, what the story is. So we're in Houston. It has finally freaking cooled off. It had been triple digit temperatures for way too long. For those of you who aren't aware, who've never been to Texas, the first time I moved here in December of 1999, the first joke I heard was that there's 11 months of summer in February. It's true. Okay, this freaking state is so damn hot. Years ago, maybe 13 years ago, my dad and I were out in Arizona and New Mexico working out there for a couple months. It was hot as hell, but there was like no humidity. It was dry. It would be like 113 and you're up on a roof and the sun is beating down on you, but you can breathe. Okay. Houston, we just moved back here last July from New Orleans, where we lived 9 years. Houston, New Orleans, love the people, but hot as balls. The hell with y'all and the humidity. So, one of the other reasons I wanted to try the video tonight, I've been doing my research about the blog and things that you want to have on the blog. I wrote like the first blog post, which is kind of like when I do ever create the blog, that'll be literally the first post, hence the title. Then there was a second one that I was reading you should write, kind of introducing you to your readers. Okay. If this works out, maybe I'll do a video. I don't know. I don't know. Again, if anybody knows anything about blogging, if you can tell me, can you put videos on there, or do you have to do something special? Hang on, something else popped on the screen there. Okay. I don't know. I guess I'll sit here and I'll watch the video and I'll see how I feel about it, how I look. I'm not going to look look any better, but like if I look, I don't know if I seem nervous. I'm really not. Um, but I just want to go back when this is all said and done, look at the video, see how I feel about it, and again, please, guys, let me know. I'm just curious. I'm still gonna do what I want to do regardless, but I'm just curious to see how you guys are gonna react to it. Assuming I can post something this long on Facebook, I don't know. We'll see. But in the research I've been doing about the blog, which, to be honest, the blog is probably going to come long before the story will. Like I said, you want to give an introduction to yourself and talk about. Don't go into like super detail, but kind of tell the reader who they're reading about. It's important to me if I'm going to be doing the blog and it's going to be the same kind of content that I talk about on my Facebook page. I want not you guys because you're going to know, but like new readers coming in. I want them to have a little background on me, and as time goes on, we'll fill in the blanks together, and we will we'll laugh about it, we'll joke about it, we'll cry about it, we'll get sad about it. The whole contradiction, heart, mind, mush, both. So, we're testing this out. And we're going to see how this video thing goes. With the blog, like I said, I'm going to talk about the same kind of things that I would talk about on Facebook. My human experience, the secondary title I had thought about, my reaction to day-to-day things I struggle with, things I do well with, just life in general. I'll talk about just look. You guys have been following me on Facebook for a while. I talk about my life, things I've struggled with, things I've done well with. Sometimes I talk about my time in the Army. I don't really talk about it that much for a lot of various reasons. Like I said, 99% good memories. There are a few bad ones in there. Talk about personal interests, hobbies, music, movies, video games. Not the biggest sports fanatic, but I'll talk about my hometown Mets or the Yankees because I grew up watching the Yankees with my grandfather. Talk about the Islanders. Talk about my hatred for the Toronto Maple Leafs and John Pajama Boy Tavares. So I digress. What else do I want to talk about in this video log? Like I said, last couple of days, I'm circling back here again. I do have a tendency to do this. Don't say I didn't warn you. Back to the, between the conversation with my cousin, the conversation I had today, the conversation with my Army buddies, just emotional roller coaster the last couple of days. So, put that in a blender with trying to decide what to do with my story that took me 2.5 years to write that I finally wrote, trying to decide when and how to do the blog. This other big step that I took the other day, like I talked about for a second earlier. I'm not going to get into that right now until I have a little more info on that. Throw that in the blender and throw any number of things into the blender, guys. I think if you know me personally, if you've known me for many years. If you just read my Facebook page, whatever the situation is, my life's an open book. I'm very open and honest. I don't hide anything. I do have struggles. I'm the furthest thing from perfect. One of the things I hated as a kid, that I still hate to this day, was the pressure to put on a happy face and pretend everything was, everything's awesome, like the Lego movie, when it couldn't be further from the truth. So, all these emotions the last couple of days. I have been an emotional creature the last few days. I talk a lot on my Facebook page about how some people think I'm cold or robotic or uncaring. Or I might come off like I'm some macho badass. Guys, let me tell you, that's not me. So if you ever read that into my stuff, reread it. I'm not Mr. Macho, okay? I'm just, I'm a very emotional, under the surface person. I just try really hard to live my life by the discipline of logic, and it's not because Spock, Star Trek. I mean, I was watching Star Trek, the original series, from the time I was like 3 years old. It was on Saturday nights, reruns in New York. Uh, Not because of that, although I do, love me some Star Trek. Um, I've tried to live my life, especially in the last decade or so, slightly before finding the letter thing. Okay, um, just the discipline of logic. And what I mean by that is facts over emotion. That reason being, emotions can be easily manipulated. We see this every day in our society. Okay, you rile people up, and they lose rational thinking. Think back to the start of this Corona crap, and the store shelves being empty of toilet paper. Why? Um, People get scared, they lose rational thinking, and they do stupid things. So you got people hoarding freaking toilet paper. So I've tried to live my life under the discipline of logic, common sense, facts. Um, but that's not to say that I don't have emotions or that my emotions aren't a huge factor in my life. I just don't. I don't think I wear them on my sleeve. Some people say I do, but that's up for you to decide, right? Okay, we'll leave that to the audience. But I'm not cold. I'm not methodical. I'm not an uncaring. I might surprise some of you guys if you really get to know me. You'll see that my emotions are very in tune. It's just I try not to ever let them control me. Problem was for many years it was like all logic, no emotion. And then the last couple of years it's kind of logic leaning toward emotion. I'm still kind of contradiction, finding that balance. So one more water break here. Uh, Finding that balance has been a challenge for me, and it will always be a challenge for me. That's just the type of personality I have. So, you know, let's throw that into the blender too, because lately um, I don't cry a lot. I cry maybe on the inside, but I don't cry a lot. You know, certain things always make me cry. My favorite movie of all time, Field of Dreams, always cry at the end when he has the catch with his dad. My dad is still here, but my dad grew up in another country. There's the culture is there's a little bit of a culture clash. There's a little bit of a personality clash. So my dad and I never went out in the backyard and had that catch. I don't know if that's why I cry. I don't know, but Field of Dreams, always waterworks. Um, but the last couple of days, when I've had all this stuff kind of going through my mind, when I can't sleep or when I have something on my mind, one of my favorite whatever the word is going to YouTube. Um, Normally, if I'm on YouTube, I'm watching something related to video games, movie clips, sports clips, you know, funny videos, prank videos, something to take my mind off the outside world, which I think is something that has severely been lost in the modern age. I think that, and this is something I don't like talking about, even on my Facebook page. I kind of had banned it from mentally for myself, but I'm going to go there just for a moment. Um, I think that politics and ideology and all these things that divide us have become so all encompassing, mixed in with technology, which technology is great, but technology has also pushed us further and further away as humans. You see it every day, okay? This is not some big secret that I'm letting everybody in on. I think that the art of us being communal has been lost through technology, social media. You know, technology and social media hand in hand. There's good and there's bad. Okay, but like I said, one of the things I always kind of lament about is how I miss the times when I was younger and high school times, maybe right after that, or even times in the army, where I would just be with a group of friends, no cell, before cell phones. We'd just be sitting around and um, just talking about all kinds of things. I mean, just all hours, just sitting in a group of people and talking. How much I miss that. And Rebecca will tell you the same thing. Since we've been here since July last year. It's very lonely to begin with. Okay, we came from we had been working in New Orleans for 2 months short of 10 years. New Orleans is a whole different beast, people. Okay, let me tell you. But people would come into our office. We ran a storage facility there, which is what we do here. So we live together, we work together, 24/7. We're joined at the hip. She's in the other room watching TV only because I said I want to try this video thing. So she's in there with the dog and the cat. Um, New Orleans wasn't lonely because we had so many friends down there, so many great people we work with, people we were that were tenants of ours that we got to be friendly with. Police officers, UPS guy, our mail lady. I mean, you name it. I mean, New Orleans. There's look anywhere you go, there's good and bad. Okay, but I met some of the nicest people I've ever known in my entire life in New Orleans. Great people, give you the shirt off their back, do anything for you. So we had so many friends down there. And then July of last year, we moved back to Houston. We had an opportunity come up where we could be back here. My dad has been going through some stuff, so I was happy to come back and be here with him. We're happy to be back home close to Rebecca's sister and the nieces, which I always kind of felt bad moving away from that. I don't have any brothers and sisters, so it's like I've ping ponged all over the place. So my family's kind of split up. Like my mom is out in South Carolina with my stepdad. My dad's been here in Houston since '89. I've lived all over the freaking place. Traveled in a couple different states in the military. So for me, moving around is not a big deal. But I always kind of felt bad that it wasn't like we did it on purpose, but work took us away from her sister and the kids. So we're back. So anyway, had an opportunity to come back last year. Worked out. So we've been back here in Houston since July last year. But it's lonely. For those of you who work in the storage industry, you'll kind of understand what I'm talking about. It becomes all encompassing. Like it just becomes your life. So in New Orleans, we had 2 days off, and we had an assistant who was a great friend. We miss him to death. I don't. By the way, I don't want to name any names in the video. I'm not purposely doing that. I just don't know if anybody would be embarrassed. I haven't asked anybody. So other than my buddy Al there in New Orleans, Kingston, we're going to work out with these videos. Anyway, we had our buddy that worked with us. We had 2 days off. We had all our friends that we had down there. So coming from that after 9 years to here, like everybody here's been super nice. I mean, everybody's been great. It's just they come in, they pay, they're out the door. So here we don't have an assistant. It's just me and Rebecca. And here we're open. We were open 7 days. Corona they scaled everybody's hours back, so we're open 6 days. We technically have a day off each during the week. Sorry, one more time. My throat's all scratchy from not shutting up for the last 49 minutes and 25 seconds. We technically have a day off each in the week, but it's always like so busy that we end up helping each other out, coming in for something, whatever. So you mix that, with missing the people down there. Then this lockdown from the Corona thing. plus all the issues I've been struggling with in the last 5 years, and it makes it a very lonely life. Hence the reason I write a lot. For those of you who didn't know, that is why my posts are so long. That is why I'm so expressive. That's why I'm so. You might think, oh God, when is he going to shut up? It's just, you might be thinking that now since we're 50 minutes in. I have a lot that I keep inside. Ever since I was a kid, I've done that. I hated doing it, but it was just something that kind of became learned behavior. And then, especially going back to that box in storage again, finding that box, reading my grandfather's letters, which I think I told you guys about. Ever since then, it's like I can't keep it inside anymore. So I would normally write, my stuff on Facebook, my long stuff, and, just get it out. Once I start writing, normally, it's almost like second nature. I don't have to think about it. My fingers just do and say whatever, it just comes from mind down my arm straight through my fingers. Apparently, with this video thing, since I'm almost going on an hour now, it kind of comes natural too. I don't know. Again, we're trying it out. I don't know if it's going to be a permanent thing or it's going to be a one-time thing. We'll see. So it's a very lonely life, and right now. And normally, me, I always just kind of joke that zombie apocalypse, tongue-in-cheek, always asking for one with this crazy world we live in. And I always thought that I'd be fine if I was the last person on Earth, but I've come to realize that I'm not quite as prepared for that as I thought I would be. So, just to kind of answer some questions you guys might have, that's why I write so much. That's why my posts are so long, because I don't do a lot of human to human interaction like I did when I was a younger man. Which is why I like the conversation I had today, the spontaneous conversation I had with somebody we work with for like 20, 30 minutes was really nice. Unexpected, just kind of happened, and like I said, you wind me up, let me go, and you have to walk away to shut me up, whatever. So, yeah. Where else can we go with this? I'm going to try to stop here in a couple minutes because it's coming up to 10 o'clock our time. Plus, I kind of want to, not to sound, it's not an ego thing, but I kind of want to watch a little bit of the video, see how I sound, the general vibe of it. The quality is not going to be great because, like I said, it's an old laptop. It's not going to be anything fancy schmancy. Hopefully it doesn't look like crap and it's not all pixelated or whatnot. But, again, I just want to see you guys' reaction to it. If you think it's something that I should continue, if it's not confusing, if I'm not bouncing around too much, when I'm writing, it's a little bit easier for me to kind of stick to topic. Again, like I said earlier, once I start talking about it, I struggle because I don't know if there's a word for this, but help me out here, peeps. How would I describe this? Okay, here goes this contradiction thing again. So, I'm not a very spontaneous person, okay? There's times I might do something spontaneous. Occasionally, it'll happen, okay? But let's say that this is the entire range of things that can or will possibly happen, good to bad, whatever. This broad spectrum right here. Normally, before I do anything, I, in my mind, kind of see every possible outcome, good and bad. And I kind of weigh my decision as far as do I want to do it? What's the outcome? What's the possibilities of something good, something bad, whatever. So my mind tends to go 1,000 miles a minute. It's a blessing and it's a curse because if something good is going on, it can make life easy. If something bad is going on, or it's the middle of the night when you lay in bed and you're tired and your mind just won't shut off, it's a curse, you know. So it's a little bit of both. Um, Anybody out there who knows what the heck I'm talking about, who can relate, or who can explain what the hell that is, I'm happy to hear from you. So this broad spectrum of possibilities. You know, my mind is okay. Let me back up 1 second. While I was in the army, for those of you who don't know about the army, and I'm talking about back in 2000, God only knows what it's like now. When I went in, they had at that time like 300 and something choices. They call it the MOS, military occupational specialty, but it's basically your job in the army. So you pick what you want to do. Okay, before I went in, I was like, okay, what do I want to do? I thought about being a military journalist or a combat choreographer or whatever the heck they call it. And my recruiter was like, oh, you don't want to do that. There's only a few people, you know, even if you're a great writer, you don't want to do that. He said, what else? I know it's not the most popular opinion in the world, but I've always had a deep respect for law enforcement and police officers. That being said, there are some really bad ones, okay? And I don't have any problem with people disparaging the bad ones, but you're talking about a very small percentage, okay? So to group everyone in, and I don't want to get all ideological or get into that, but let's just say there's good and bad in everything, but there are a hell of a lot better than there are worse. Anyway, I thought about being a military police officer. He's like, oh, you don't want to do that. There's so many people that do that. That's one of the, always picked jobs. Pick something else. So, I can't remember for the life of me. I had a few, like 5 or 6 choices I was thinking about. And he's like, looking at my test scores, and he's like, and this is how I knew the Army was desperate. You should go into military intelligence. And I laughed and almost fell out of the chair. And I'm like, are you wanting the Army to fail? What the hell? You want an idiot like me in military intelligence? He said, no, your test scores show how your critical thinking, your analytical skills, whatever. So, I was kind of I didn't make it, by the way. I flunked out halfway through. My heart wasn't really in it. Not the army, the military intelligence part. So I was not heartbroken when I failed out of that. Reclassed to be a unit supply and logistics specialist would fit me like a peg in a hole, whatever. Neat, clean, orderly, organized. That's me. So, but I'm just trying to explain, the way my mind works, the way I think, overanalyze things more than I am spontaneous. There's things I'm spontaneous about, but the bulk of it is like straight line. Can't sleep at night because I'm overthinking things from 20, 30 years ago. Just how my mind works. Okay, so lost my train of thought the second time. Anyway, and we are coming up. We're about a minute and a half away from an hour. Didn't really think I'd be doing it this long. I was thinking 10 or 15 minutes, but like I told you, you wind me up, let me go, and I could keep going all night. So, but I won't do that to you guys. I'm gonna try to wind it out here. And allergies, guys, bad time of the year. I wanted to test this medium out and see how I felt about it. I'm curious to see how you guys feel about it. Assuming I can post it on Facebook, I don't know how long a video I can put. I don't know if I could put it on my YouTube channel. As if I've got all these videos on there. I don't have any videos on my YouTube channel. I had a YouTube channel since like 2008, and when I was messing around with it the other day, it pissed me off to no end. I don't know if it was, I was trying to link it to my Facebook, because, if I do the blog, or, you watch videos nowadays and everybody's got, oh, here's me on YouTube, follow me on Pinterest, follow me on, I don't do that cesspool Twitter, by the way, I never will. Plus I can't tell you just like a few stream of words, I gotta go that much. I was trying to link my Facebook to my YouTube, and it was just a disaster. So I had to get a whole new channel, which sucks because I lost everything I had posted over the years. Which, you know, some of it was probably good, some of it was sarcastic as shit. So maybe that's not such a bad thing. But crap, I'm over an hour. Okay, all right. Well, let me wrap this up because it's going on 10 o'clock here. I still got a couple things to do. I want to thank you guys if you have sat with me for the past hour through this whole entire thing. Um, Let me know what you think. I'm going to look back on it. I'll see what I think. If I think that if it's even possible to, you know, do these kind of videos on Facebook. Again, I don't know. I've never really. I've posted clips from like YouTube and stuff like that. I've never done this. Duh. I mentioned that a couple times, but you know, let's try it out. Let's see how it goes. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know, you know, about the background. Is the light good? Am I loud enough? Just let me know. I mean, I'm always curious to hear what you guys think. I like engaging with all my friends and family and Facebook friends. When I say Facebook friends, by the way, I'm not selling any of you guys short. Okay, it's just I've never met you in person. That's what I mean. But I always enjoy reading comments and engaging with you guys, and you know, sharing a part of me, and you know, you guys share a part of you. That's what it's all about, guys. I hate what's happened to our world these days, and you know, it's gotten so friggin' crazy, and I could spend a whole another hour talking about that. So we're gonna leave that for another time because again, I don't like to get into politics. I don't like to get into ideology. I don't like to get into all those things that are all encompassing every aspect of our lives. You know, I miss the camaraderie. I miss the like I said, the communal feeling. So I people, I'm not saying don't have your opinion, have your own opinion. Great, you know, I respect everybody's right to an opinion, whether I agree with it or not. That's all I ask you. You know, you don't have to like my ideas, my opinions, whatever. Just respect the fact that I have a right to them. Um, anyway, but I don't want that to ever be the focus. And I think if you guys read my posts, you see that's like I never really talk about it. You know, especially in an election year. You know, I'm so sick of freaking politics. You know, I'm just tired that it has encroached on our lives so much in the last 2 decades that it's like everything has to be viewed through that prism. No, it doesn't. Okay, it doesn't, guys. It doesn't. You just, you know, we're human beings. Let's go back to that. Okay, so all right, minute, hour and 3 minutes. Calling it a night, guys. Thank you if you have stuck with me through this video. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Please let me know in the comments what you guys think of it. I'm going to go back and check it out, and I will see you guys next time. Thank you.